Absolute monstrosity. This is the AKE 0CTF2. This is the AKE OC. This is the AKE This is the AKE 0CTF241/2 in black. Freaking stupid name. This is a board made by a company called Access IS, a small British company who specialises in making custom document readers, ticket readers and custom keyboards for large firms like airports and supermarkets. This particular model is a 98 key custom variant, made particularly for point of sales or POS. I saw it on eBay, or to be fair, it saw me on eBay. I wasn't searching for a point of sales keyboard. I don't own a supermarket. I saw it on eBay under some kind of weird vague title like unique, mythical, mechanical being. The first thing I thought when I saw it was, this looks so dumb. Take my money now. So 3 days later, ta-da! I think I'd be right in saying this is one of the most unique layouts I and you have probably ever seen in a keyboard. It's a layout with alphas and ISO enter, a 3U spacebar, your regular modifiers, but some very strange sizes and locations for the Windows Shift key. You have arrow keys on the bottom left, part of a numpad in the bottom middle, a column of F keys. A column of F keys. A mixture of the nav cluster on the left and right of the board, a touchpad with 2 buttons, and a square enter. This is the kind of enter you use to launch missiles. This nukes the world. Kim Jong-un has this enter underneath his desk. Just look at it. Look at it. Look how mighty that is. That's not normal. Oh, I like ISO, I like ANSI. No, you're both wrong. Big S is superior. No. Square enter is far superior. The square enter is all. Please, take whatever you want. Just please don't hurt me, please.
Anything you say?
Yes, anything, please.
Oh, in that case, I'll just take your life!
Please, no, please, no, I've got wire and keys to look after, please, no! Daddy!
Wire, you say?
Yeah, wire, we don't use one.
I don't need a wire! What are you?
Get out.
Yep. Interestingly enough, the enter and the F row keys don't work in a way usual 2U or greater keys do. Instead of having stabilizers, the enter is just a 2x2 grid of Cherry MX blacks, and the F key rows are 1x2 grid. Which, when I first saw it, I thought, this is kind of interesting. In actual use, it's not great. If you don't press the key right in the center, it doesn't work. If I press this key in the center, first of all, you get this awful clacking. Keeping in mind that these are Cherry MX blacks, not a tactile switch. If you press it in its corners, not only is the force disgustingly uneven, but it's tactile. It's not that immediate linear feel. It's literally build up a force, boom, tactile. Not only is the force unequal, it is much stiffer than a normal key, given that there are 4 Cherry MX blacks rather than 1. Can I recommend it? No. The layout is obviously not a 60% or a 10 keyless. It's a mess. The board comes with Cherry MX blacks and a Cherry MX grey for the 3U spacebar, and is made of very solid plastic on what I believe is some kind of a steel mounting plate. It's fairly heavy, has no flex, and takes up too much space on the desk in a way that I've never experienced before. It's not too wide. It's actually slightly narrower than a 60%. It's too long. So this keyboard uses what I believe to be some kind of pre-tooled Cherry MX blacks. I've used some black switches before. I've used Gateron Ink blacks. Let me tell you, these boys stiff. Boys stiff! Dang! I mean, not so much that I would get fatigued or something, because I'm a strong boy. But for someone like myself who prefers a bottom out force in the kind of 60 gram range, it felt like it was too much. They feel very scratchy and they sound very scratchy. It's like 2 pieces of sandpaper just... Pre-tooled Cherry MX blacks, rough, scratchy, no thank you. However scratchy they sound, in my experience I've always got this very distinct kind of clackiness from Cherry housing. It's nice. It's definitely made better by the keycaps that come on the board. So I found out, and I was actually quite surprised, that Signature Plastics make the keycaps for this board. It's some kind of custom-made DCS profile, double shot ABS and very thin. The keycap itself is fairly smooth but quite grippy. It's nice. It doesn't feel like your typical Corsair or stock keycaps you get on gaming keyboards. Kind of weird, like oil absorbing, grippy, slippy, misclicky type of, no, it's nothing like that. It's quite nice. Ugh. Sound-wise, I like them. Everything else, computer says. Now, I've put it on my desk for a few days to try it out, you know, see how it is. The question you're probably wondering is it usable? And this is gonna surprise you, but no. It's so bad. It's so bad. All right, let me explain. So, the very first thing I typed, which I think was, I was putting in my password for my computer. I typed it in, I made a mistake, and I went to backspace, which forever on any kind of keyboard has always been in the top right. But it wasn't there. It was below the alphas. And that was so unnatural to use. Having to drag my hand all the way from here, all the way down to, it's terrible. I used it for a week, I never got used to it. I postponed making this because I thought I'd just get used to it. I didn't, it's bad, it's terrible. The escape is also not in the corner, which is also very wrong. There are multiple keys that are just in the wrong place. And it's not so much that they're in alternate places, it just doesn't make sense to reach them when you're using a desk. Because if you intend to use the alphas, the rest of your wrists are covering the board. And that essentially makes everything underneath the alphas unusable. And if you do use them, you're gonna get RSI. The only reason I bought this board was to use this bloody magnificent enter, but if I'm using my keyboard like this, and I want to reach the enter, I have to crane my hand back like this to push the enter. I don't want to get RSI again. It's just a mess. It's a mess. I don't think you could make a less ergonomic keyboard if you tried. If you tried. If you tried. This is not a keyboard made for PC desk use, very clearly, and it's probably made to be had at an angle or used standing up. The most frustrating thing about it is that layout-wise, it has everything you need. You have numpad numbers, you have arrow keys, you have the nav cluster, you have 2 enters, but they're all in positions that are so frustrating you're going to want to kill someone after you use it. So will I be using the AKE0 CTF241/2 in black? No. Cherry MX Blacks are too stiff, and the layout, for lack of a better word, is garbage. Also, I do want to say the reason why I didn't review the touchpad is because it doesn't work. I couldn't get it to work. If you also hate Cherry MX Blacks, why don't you consider subscribing to the Glarses channel, where I don't really know what I do here. Thanks, bye.
Father, you will be avenged, my son.